In Italy, Major John Keefer Mahony, a former Vancouver newspaperman, receives the Empire's highest award for gallantry, the Victoria Cross.
At the time of the Second World War, the Victoria Cross is the British Empire's highest award for valor in the face of the enemy. So for valor in combat directly facing enemy forces, and at that time the British Empire, of course, includes the countries of the Commonwealth, including Canada. So what happens for Canada in the Second World War, Veterans Affairs Canada basically identifies 16 Canadian recipients of the Victoria Cross during the Second World War. And those are people who are either born in Canada or who are serving with Canadian forces or who have a strong personal connection to Canada in one way or another.
On Empire Day, Major Mahony took his company across the River Melfa to establish a vital bridgehead.
Major John Keefer Mahony is commanding a company of the Westminster Regiment during the Italian campaign in the summer of 1944. And in May of 1944, Allied forces, so this includes the Canadians, but also British forces, forces from India, Polish forces and others, are fighting their way up the Liri Valley towards Rome.
Although he had been wounded 3 times, he and his men held on in full view of the enemy. Single-handed, he cleaned out a troublesome machine gun nest. Under fierce enfilading fire, his inspired leadership aided an important phase of the attack.
One of the reasons why the Italian campaign often doesn't get as much attention as other campaigns do is because there are other events unfolding at much the same time. So obviously the Italian campaign, the fighting starts in Sicily on July 10th, 1943, and then proceeds through Sicily, then up the Italian peninsula. But at around the time of the actions for which John Keefer Mahony receives the Victoria Cross, the Allies are preparing, the Western Allies are preparing a major invasion in Normandy, D-Day, June 6, 1944. And in fact, Rome is liberated on June 4th, June 5th, 1944, and quite literally, 2 days after this begins, D-Day unfolds, and that grabs a lot of attention both at the time and afterwards.
Only when full reinforcements arrived would he allow his wounds to be dressed. At a mess dinner, his comrades of the New Westminsters paid tribute to that gallant warrior, Mahony, V.C.,